Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our studio Piano Cafe Virtual Connect. Today it's our late night program. We invite our guest, Mr. Wagih Gamal Kamel, area representative of World Federation of Tourist Guide Association in North Africa. Sir, we welcoming you today in our studio. Welcome you in Bangladesh. Today, we talk about Egypt tourism. Today, our subject is history and tourism of Egypt. Sir, how is it you today?
I am just fine. Hello, my dear friend Faisal. I want to also to say hello to all the speakers from our lovely friends country, Bangladesh. It will be my pleasure to be your guest for this evening. I know it's a little bit very late, but I hope to be a very light guest for you during this evening.
Sir, thank you, because today we plan this program we do little late, because this time everyone now is free and relaxed mood, so that our plan is achieve our goal. What we want to do and what we thinking. We want to target our audience to knowing about history and tourism of Egypt. So our plan is in the right way. So I hope you today we hear from you. You told us about, tell us about Iran history. We want to know about Iran history. If you tell, start to describe about Iran history, Egypt history.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to welcome all the viewers to first and to visit our lovely country, Egypt, as I am expecting that a big number of the Egyptians probably after the show start to know more about Bangladesh. We are very quiet. We know each other because in Egypt we have a lot of associations. They have host nations are working or studying together. Looks like the Great Al Azhar Mosque and its university. And we have a lot of the students from Bangladesh here. And also our workers and your workers are working abroad together in different countries. Egypt, it's a little bit considered to be as one of the oldest known countries in the ancient world. Historians and travelers, they say that the Egyptian history starts roughly between 7,000 before Christ to 10,000 before Christ. But when they mentioned this number, they were talking about the good progress, the achievements that today is already recorded, and we can find its evidence today. But before these 7 to 10,000 years before Christ, we had also a great history and a big civilization, and we still can see some of its monuments and antiques in the different museums all around the world. But finally, they decide to start the Egyptian record history by the year 3200 before Christ. And they classify this period into 3 main kingdoms. What we mean by a kingdom is a time of a period for a different kings. They ruled the country, but there is something happened between the first kingdom and the second kingdom, between the third kingdom and the second kingdom, which allowed them to change from this period. Looks like a foreign invasion or a revolution happened or something like that. Also, they classified into 30th dynasty. All of this, we call it the pharaonic history. And after this time came the Greek to Egypt. Roughly about 320 before Christ.
This is Greek Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Then this is converting now Egypt. From Greek now is converting the Egypt, right? Sir, from in the middle, I want to say something from Philippine World Tourist Guide Federation area representative, Mr. Tsunami Venezuela. He welcoming you. Yes, he welcoming you, and from Tanzania, Mr. Philip Lulinda.
Philip.
He also welcoming you, and from Bangladesh, Mr. Tanjir Ahmed. He is a great fan. Yes, he is great fan of you, and he also welcoming you. Blessed to see you, sir.
It's my pleasure to have all of these friends. Yeah.
And also Mr. Peter Hanna. He say greetings.
Yeah, Peter is a great friend of mine. Yeah.
Yes, sir. You are a very popular. I know you personally. So let's start now from Greek.
So Egypt, its history starts 3,200 before Christ, divided into 30th dynasty. This is a time of building the great pyramids, the big tombs at Saqqara, and the big temples in Luxor city, and many of the monuments that still can be seen up till now in Egypt. And then 320 before Christ, Alexander the Great, who had a problem with the Persian people, so he wanted to fight the Persian, so that he decided to come to Egypt, because Egypt at that time, it was under the Persian invasion. He was coming to Egypt and he liked it, and he started to give his order to build a city to keep by his name, which is known today as Alexandria. Alexandria is the second capital of Egypt.
Yes, I know.
The most lovely country.
Yes, Alexandria, much attractive place. I don't know. This is the second capital of Egypt, but when I have time, then I try to see Alexandria in YouTube. Very nice. Yes.
By the way, today there is more than about 24 cities in the world called Alexandria after the name of our famous city. So we know that Alexander the Great died in Asia while he was following the Persian people, and then his empire divided to be ruled by his general and colleagues. Ptolemy Soter, or the Savior, or Ptolemy #1, start to rule Egypt at that time, and then followed by another 14 other Ptolemies, and among them it was the famous Egyptian queen Cleopatra. Yeah.
Queen Cleopatra.
Yeah, the famous Queen Cleopatra.
Yes.
And you know her story from being loved by Mark Antony and Julius Caesar and the problem that happened between Mark Antony and his friend and his wife too, the Octavia. And Octavia, she was the sister of Octavius, who became the new Roman, Greek Caesar or ruler at the time. So they had a war between Cleopatra and Mark Antony and Octavius. And unfortunately, Egypt fell in the hands of Octavius' army, so that Cleopatra, she said that I don't like to be as a slave for the Roman lady, so that she killed herself. And Mark Antony also killed himself. He said that I am deserving this. I am responsible about losing the war. So he killed himself, and Cleopatra dead. And by this starts another period of Egypt called the Roman Empire. The Roman, they were between 27, 28 before Christ. And they remained till 641 or 641 AD. But there is two very important dates happened between this time. 59 AD, San Marcos was coming along the way from Libya to spread the religion of the Christianity in Egypt. And he came, first city was Alexandria. That's why up till now they called the Bishop of Alexandria, the Pope of Alexandria. The Pope of Egypt is the Pope of Alexandria. And he starts to spread the religion of the Christianity. And because Egyptian people from the ancient time, from the pharaonic time, they were believing by the one God. So they find that when San Marcos start to talk about the only one God, so probably he is similar. So that they start to convert to be as a Christian, little by little for sure. And later they had a problem with the Roman rulers who decide to kill and to burn all the people who went in this new religion. In a time we call it the persecution period. And they had such a problem till the second date, 641 AD, when the Muslim leader Amr ibn al-As was coming to Egypt at that time. Amr ibn al-As was a young child, starts to come in the trading trip to Egypt even before he became a Muslim. And he knew the glory of the country, he knew the glory of Egypt. That's why he was the owner of the idea to come to conquer Egypt, to come to spread the religion of the Islam from Egypt. That's why he told the Muslim Caliph Omar ibn al-Khattab, I need to go. Yeah, I need to go to Egypt. And Omar ibn al-Khattab said, why? Why it's very important to go to Egypt? He said that our Prophet, peace be upon him, said that Egypt is a great country and their soldier, they are a very good soldier. Their people, they are a nice people. And it's a strategic place at the beginning of Africa and at the end of Asia. Looks like a gate to connect between Asia and Africa. So it will be a good place to spread the Islam everywhere. It's the gate to Africa. And he was correct. So that he used to come to Egypt along the way from the desert around the delta, and then finally he came to what's called today Cairo. Cairo is the capital today, but at that time Cairo wasn't exist. He was coming to an area And then he used to move step by step towards Alexandria. Alexandria was the capital of Egypt at that time. Under the Greek and the Roman time, Alexandria was the capital of Egypt. He was able to defeat the Roman there, and they were involved in another wars, so that it was their weakness time. And he wanted to choose Alexandria to be the capital, but Umar ibn al-Khattab told him, no, you have to look for another place because we don't have a navy, so they can return back to you at any time. So he was returning back to the first city that he entered, somewhere close to what we call it today El Azbakiyya area, and he went a few kilometers to an area known as Babylon Fortress, and he starts to settle. Yes, Babylon. And he was asking the people to build for himself palace and a mosque, and he founded the first Muslim capital for Egypt and the first Muslim capital in Africa, El Fustat.
Sir, one question we are getting right now. You know, Alexandria is the posh for tourism.
Yeah.
And I personally like it. One of our viewers asking, what is Alexandria famous for? We want to hear from you.
I can't describe Alexandria. I'm gonna tell you something, and you can understand what's Alexandria.
Yes.
Alexandria is the place that even if you are very rich, to travel to go to the Caribbean and to go to the Canary and to go somewhere and to go everywhere. But if you didn't spend at least 1 week in the year in Alexandria, it means that you never had a vacation or a summer vacation. It's something that you can feel it or to enjoy your soul.
Yes, this is need to realize your soul.
Alexandria is a city in front of the sea, the beautiful Mediterranean Sea, along the Corniche or the sea coast. Some great buildings, most of them keeps by the Greek and the Roman style of buildings. The city itself contains people, belongs to different civilization, belongs to different cultures. You can see in Alexandria people originally from ancient Egypt, and people originally coming from Turkey, people originally coming from Greece, people originally coming from Italy, people originally coming from other places. Many people. You can find Christian, you can find Muslim, you can find Jewish. So Alexandria is a special spirit in its life, in its buildings.
This is what we say spiritual tourism. If we talk about the tourism of Alexandria, we tell about this is a spiritual tour where you get stamina, where you get confidence, where you get relaxation, where you get mental satisfaction, where you get soul peace, everything in there. If I'm not wrong.
Exactly. So I am inviting you and all of your viewers to come to Alexandria, and I give you a free tour for any number of your friends and your viewers will come in Alexandria within the next 2 years. So just he must register his name now in your program or to share your program, we will give him a free ride and a free tour to visit this beautiful city, Alexandria. Alexandria
Thank you,
still
sir.
remains the second capital of Egypt.
Yes, viewer, you already hear our main guest already declare if anyone share or anyone write about our today program, then Mr. Wagih Kamel, she will give a presentation, free ride, free city tour in Alexandria. This is the pinpoint today's program. So let's watching our program and know more about history of truly Egypt. So, sir, please continue. We want to hear the nice conversation today.
Thank you. So, by the arrival of Amr ibn al-As, starts the Muslim time or the Muslim period in Egypt, which starts from 641 AD till now, but with some classifications between that time. Egypt itself considered as a good land, the land which gives you the good product from the land. That's why ancient Egyptians themselves, they start to call it Kemet. Kemet, which it means the black land. And the black land, which is the soil, the fertility, which comes from the Nile flood. This is why the products here in Egypt, it has a special flavor. I know that many people from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, from India, they claim that they have the best mango all over the world. It's true. You have the best mango that you tested. But when you come to Egypt, you will see that the Egyptian mango is different. It's more tasty. It's more sweet. Because
Right,
this is the...
This
Yes.
is this is right.
Yes, sir.
Egyptian mango is more tasty than Thailand.
More tasty.
Oh, great, great. We don't know about this. Let's continue, sir. We want to know about your food. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Very nice
So,
point you giving us. Very nice. Really, really. Tell us.
I know this from my client because our American clients, they are testing your mango because your mango is from Philippines, from India, from Pakistan, goes to the States, for example, and some of our families, they are living there, so sometimes we do comparison. So this is not the secret of the mango itself because we brought the roots from your country, maybe. But the soil here is different. It gives a special taste. For example, we brought the seeds of the strawberry from California, from the States. But when we grow strawberry here, it's a little bit different. That even here in Egypt is the only country produce strawberry at the time of the winter, when the whole of Europe, they don't have any fresh fruit they can eat. They can find the Egyptian strawberry in the markets. So the soil or the fertility of the land here gave a special taste to the food. The Nile River itself, it gave the people a special spiritual way of thinking. Always we say that the Nile River is dividing Egypt as one line, but in the top, in front of the Mediterranean Sea, the Nile goes just like this. So if you imagine that the Nile River is just like this, and it's teaching us that always we pray to the God. So that's why most of the Egyptian, they have this spiritual feeling in their life and they can feel it. So people in Egypt, for example, if they are able... Yes, my friend.
We want to know about the black soil, what you tell about few minutes ago, and this is the very much spiritual thoughts in your mind, because no one can. I talk with lot of Egyptian, but no one can describe very easily the spiritual thoughts. This is come from here. This from heart, not from here. When heart feel,
From the
this is
heart.
yes, this is spiritual. You are the very much correct. We want to continue. You share with us. Very
Thank
good
you.
conversation today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Be with
Thank
us.
you.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. So that's why ancient Egyptian start to look for their God even before they knew the real God that we believe today. Always they had a
Yes.
feeling that the one who controls in all of this life, he must be only one, and he cannot be male or a female. He must be a unisexual, and he, as mentioned by Akhenaton, 18th dynasty, 1500 BC, when he said that our God, he is not a male and not a female. Our God, he was exist before the existence itself. He is the
Yes.
light, and
Yes.
without him is the dark.
Yes.
With
Very,
him, with
very much
him,
correct.
everything starts, and
Yes.
without him, it's the end of the life.
Yeah.
So this is the spiritual life comes
Yes.
from ancient Egypt through all of this. Even other people who come to Egypt, that Egypt they add to them a lot. That's why you can see the people in Egypt is a little bit different from others. Uh, you can even try to see the attitude and the habits of
So
the people in Egypt.
I know some of pupils, even the Egyptian embassy in Bangladesh last 2 years ago. I personally know them, but now who are in there I not know. But I want to say they are very polite. Egyptian people know manners, how to welcoming the people, how the welcoming tourists, how the people receive the tourists. I know because I have
You practice this.
yeah, I know. I sometimes I work with them. That's why I know Egyptian people. So tell, we want to know more. This is
So
shared experience conversation. Very experienced thoughts you have. If I want to tell,
yeah. Also, we have only one river,
yes,
and we were leaving, and maybe we're still living around the two bed of the Nile. And the Nile River is dividing Egypt into two parts, and we
oh,
live around it. So we learn it from the Nile, the unity to be together. And in Bangladesh, you have two rivers. That's right.
yeah, no, three rivers. This is one is main river
Two
is
big,
Podha.
yeah.
Yes, that one. Second one
The
is
Gang,
Jamuna, and third
Jonah,
one is Meghna.
Megna, and Jonah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the people are living in a different communities in Bangladesh, but
Yes.
In Egypt we have one main source for the water. So we learn it to live around it in one long way. So we learned a lot from having the Nile and the soil and the sea and this life, which affect the philosophy way of the thinking. That's why ancient Egyptians they start to think by the way that they built all of these great temples and tombs. If we have a glance of a tour in Aswan, Aswan is the last governorate in Egypt towards the south of Egypt. Aswan contains among its beautiful temples and tombs and antiques, it contains the Philae temple, the temple of the goddess Isis, which originally built on an island in the Nile. This is a very, very beautiful temple. And also we have the mausoleum of, or the tomb of the Aga Khan, which built at the top of the mountain. Aga Khan used to come to Egypt for healing, and finally he decided to stay here for a long time. Even his wife, she used to send him a flower every day to his tomb at 5 o'clock. He used to say that. And if we start to imagine that we are in the Nile River and we start to sail towards the north, we will see Komombo city. In Komombo, the temple of the god, or the crocodile god, Sopek. And also, if we start to sail again, we will see Edfu, the city of the falcon god Horus, the one who considered to be as the first god controlled the earth, or he represents the words of the god and the judgment of the god on the earth. And if we sail also to the north, we will go to Luxor. Luxor?
Luxor.
Yes. Luxor or Al-Aqsar, which is the plural of many palaces. It's divided into two parts, east side and the west side of the Nile, or East Bank and West Bank. East Bank has the beautiful Luxor temple and Karnak temples. Karnak temples considered to be as the first or the biggest temple for worship only one main god, with about 65 acres, which is Karnak temples. You know, James Bond, when he was in Egypt, he was acting the movie of Murder in the Nile, the one which he wrote by the famous Agatha Christie from her room in the Winter Palace Hotel in Luxor City. So James Bond, he was acting in the hypostyle hall of Karnak temples. Not only this movie by James Bond, but many other movies have been acted in Karnak temples and Luxor temple. In the West Bank or the West Side, one can visit the famous Valley of the Kings, Valley of Queens, the temple of the Queen Hatshepsut. It's enough when I tell you that anyone on Google now can just write the tomb of Seti the First, tomb of Ramses the First, tomb of the young pharaoh Tutankhamun, Tutankhamun, the golden pharaoh. If you just write this and go to see the glory. Later I will send you a movie made by the 3D for the tomb of Ramses number 6, prepared by the Ministry of Antiques and the Ministry of Tourism, just to show it to the people during their this pandemic, as we are staying at home, just to give some pleasure for the people and to reward them from being here, and saying that you can enjoy looking to the tombs by looking to it till everything will be okay to come back again. So I will send this one for you.
I have a question that this very logical question. You know, Bangladeshi people like travel. You know, they round the year 22 lakhs in Bangladeshi language. It's 22 million people we visit as a tourist in India.
Yeah.
And 1 million we visit Indonesia, and 2 million we visit Malaysia, and 1.5 or 2 million people we visit Singapore. So I have a question. It's very specific and logical. Why not your tourism board or your tour operator, why not you are interested or you are not focusing in Bangladesh the large number of tourists around the year we visit India, Bhutan, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Qatar, USA, UK. Then why not we are interested to visit Egypt? What is the logical point they are not interested? This point, my point of view, I want to say, your authority for not properly focusing Bangladesh, that's why you lose the business from Bangladesh. Lot of one or two people, they are doing the business, but it's not a very big amount. Sir, we have a guest. I want to introduce you. He want to give you the greeting. After that, we come. Mr. Welcoming you, sir. Mr. Ashrafuzzaman Ujjwal. He is the president of Bangladesh Travel Writers Association. He visit your countries and he stay your countries more than 15 days. And he talk about something. Sir, if you tell something.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Kaifa haluk ya habibi?
Alhamdulillah, tamam.
Tamam, كويس?
Tamam, alhamdulillah.
Arabic شوية.
Very good.
Actually, my name is Muhammad Zaman. And when I was in traveling Egypt, some people are asked, I was listening, someone is calling behind me, Ya Habibi, Muhammad. Then I turn back. Then I find they are not calling me. They are calling someone else because everybody is Muslim and everybody is Muhammad. Then I realized that I have, being a Muslim, but sometimes when they call me Muhammad, I don't listen because I thought this is another Muhammad. Then I changed my name. I put in my name in short, Muhammad Moha, M-O-H-A, only Moha. So anyway, it was one of the nice experience in Egypt, and I had been to 8 different cities in Egypt and stayed 20 days. And I find Egypt is called mother of the world, the whole world, the mother of the world. So if anyone never been to Egypt, you will miss many things.
Yes.
Like if anyone lost his mother, whatever, the people has the feeling. If anyone travel a lot and did not travel to Egypt, it's like the similar thing. And Egypt is such a beautiful country, and in Siwa Oasis, you will find the desert. You go to Red Sea, snorkeling, scuba, and the Mount Sinai, the Prophet Moses, when he was there, and the pyramid, the Cairo Museum, the Abu Simbel, Luxor, excellent. Alexandria, Hurghada, Sharm el Sheikh, every place is very unique. And the food, kushuri, I still remember. Kushuri. Yeah.
Faisal wanted to let me to explain a lot about the food.
Yes, that's why I invite the sir. Now he have a running meeting from meeting, when we talk about Egypt, then he frontly joined to talk.
I want just to add something for your nice words about my country, especially about Muhammad. So in Egypt, we roughly about the half of your population. We are about 100 million now in Egypt, and probably 85% of the people are Muslim and 15% are Christian. But wherever you are a Muslim and Christian, if you want to just to call someone in the street and you don't know his name, so the best way is just to call Muhammad, and everybody's looking at you. So,
right.
So this is very easy. When I introduce my country to the people, I say this is 70% of the people called Muhammad, and about the 30 other percent called Ahmad, wherever they are Christian or a Muslim. So this is the very rapid name and a very popular name here in Egypt. We have a friend, Muhammad Sliman. He say that my name is Muhammad like everybody here.
I want to tell Muslim and Christian in future sometime, coming future, Hazrat Isa taking the charge on behalf of Muslim. So I think Muslim and Christian, they deserve Muhammad. So this is not ignored. Everyone deserves Muhammad because Muhammad is symbol of peace, symbol of truth, symbol of love, symbol of trust. So who have a trust, he deserves Muhammad. So
and this is let us to return to the old subject that the spiritual feeling of the Egyptian, they are moving their hearts and then their minds, whatever the names and whatever the attitude. You ask me a very good question. Did our government? Yes, sir.
No, you continue. I'm telling you after that.
Faisal was asking me that our government is not looking for tourists from Bangladesh. No, for sure, we're looking for tourists from anywhere. Tourism is very important to the country, as same probably as the Nile River. Big number of people works in the tourism field. You can say that roughly about 4.2 millions of the Egyptian people depends about tourism in their direct income, and 4.5 million of people, which it means 4 million families, which is with the average family you are talking about 20%, which is the fifth of the Egyptian people depends directly about tourism. Indirectly, there is more than 75 industry. So we need all the tourists, and there is no any single nationalities we never find it in Egypt, or we neglect to invite it to come to Egypt. But sometimes the problem is the destination, how much it costs, especially in aeroplane. If you ask Tsunami, because Tsunami he had an experience of these. Many people from Philippines, they wanted to come to Egypt because they wanted to visit the holy places of Egypt. You know that Egypt, it was the place when Muhammad married to his Coptic wife, who gave him his son Ibrahim, and the Jesus was living here for about 3 years and 11 months. Moses was born and living almost the 120 years of his life here in Egypt. And the God was talking to Moses from the top of the mountain of Horeb, or in the mountain of Sinai. So Egypt is the land. You can see the culture, you can see the spiritual life. You can see, as our friend said, that the scuba diving, he went to Alexandria, he went to the Hurghada and Sharm Abu Simbel to see the temples and the history. So the problem is the destination. So if you have a big number of people, you make the trip cheaper. And if you wanted to encourage more people to come to Egypt, you need to talk a lot about Egypt. So this is, I think, the work of the businessmen of Bangladesh. The businessmen of Bangladesh, if they are start to work in this, and I think that we can help in this. Later we can discuss and we can help in this by giving them the way how to talk about Egypt or how to sell Egypt to make a good business. Faisal, are you okay? I hope that all our viewer enjoyed today's late show with my friend Faisal from Bangladesh. Stay always was Pino. You will see a lot of things and you will enjoy a lot. Not even today, but even in the future, you will see a lot of things. Thank you very much. Your friend from Egypt, Wagih Gamal. I'm thankful for our friends. Thank you, Tsunami. Thanks, Peter. Thanks for our viewers, my friends who are watching now. Thanks for Faisal and thanks for everybody. Thank you and bye bye.
ভাইয়া ঢুকেন না, ঢুকেন, আছে তো। আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, আপনি ঢুকেন। এই যে আমি 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 ঢুকছি, আমি ঢুকছি, কারেন্ট আসছে। Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for our limitation. We lost the connection. Now we are again in our program, but you know, we are end of the time. What is happening? What is happening in some time in digital give us lot of opportunity, but digital have some limitation.
What my friend, everybody is depending about the internet nowadays. So if the internet dropped at any time, this is normal.
Yes, sir. Please continue then. How we exchange our culture and tourism between two countries. The main question is for you. Then we come to Mr. Ashraful. Same question. How we exchange?
I think that Egypt is a very good business for the travel agency in Bangladesh. but we need a little bit to have more talking about how to sell the program, and you can tell us what is the best way for people from Bangladesh to spend their time in Egypt, how many nights they need, what's their cost, how much they wanted to spend. You know, later we can just arrange something especially to be suitable for our guests from Bangladesh. We can talk to each other between Egyptian tour operators and Bangladesh tour operators just to know something about the cultures of the post people. We can change in the programs. We here in Egypt we are very flexible. You can say that we are a tailor made. We can arrange this. I think we need to have a kind of a talk. You have to invite someone from Egypt to visit Bangladesh and to study your tradition and habits and people, and to start to put a program. And we have here to invite some people also from Bangladesh to come to Egypt just to try to arrange a good program and to see what is the best program can be. It's a program for a week, for a 10 days, for 2 weeks, Egypt and some other country beside it, or just Egypt. I think this is a very good opportunity nowadays to start these good business nowadays, because some places they give you a very high prices, probably the plane. But if you use charter airplanes, it will be cheaper because they need to move faster. They need to gain some money through this pandemic life. And also some hotels starts to work in Egypt, so they are ready to give you a very good prices for the accommodation. So I think we can start to think about to arrange some programs between Bangladesh and Egypt. It will be very nice in the future.
Okay, sir. Sir, what about you thinking, Mr. Ashrafuzzaman Ujjwal? Between how can we exchange the program? I think Mr. Wagih Gamal she talked the right way.
Well, nowadays the tourism is changing a lot because of pandemic time. It will
Yeah,
not happening the way it was before. So we have to create a new dimension for the people, for their safety, and also for the tourism. So I believe uh, uh, we can do some different kind of itinerary, which is not harmful for mass tourism. Like people can travel like Siwa Oasis. It is a
yeah,
desert. People can stay there and with a tent, or in the sand. There is no problem. I stay at the sand over there overnight. It was very
yeah,
exciting. And also, most of the people they knows about belly dance, but I like in Egypt, that is Sufi dance. Sufi dance in Cairo. It was
yes,
fantastic. So we have to introduce in different way, like whatever it was before, but this time it will be a different way. And I believe everywhere the economy problem is around the world. So if we can find a business tour, like the people will travel and they will find it out the opportunity for business. Like it could be export oriented business tour, it could be import oriented business tour, so that when they travel, they can enjoy their traveling, and at the same time, they will find the opportunities to do some business with Egypt. Like, Egypt is famous for cotton, Egypt is famous for the silk, Egypt has different kind of souvenirs. I bought a lot of souvenirs like papyrus and many things. And Egypt has, Khane Khalili. If you go there, you will find whatnot, everything. I bought
everything.
myself Umme Kulsum, her music, the CD, Amar
Wow.
Diab, the most famous Egyptian singer. So we can introduce some different way. We invite some Egyptian writer, journalist, photographer to visit Bangladesh, be our guest, and once they go back to Egypt, they can write about Bangladesh. And at the same way, from traveling from Bangladesh to Egypt, if you can arrange some travel writer, journalist, photographer, so they will explore Egypt, and once they come back to Bangladesh, they will write about Egypt in different way. So when people read about Egypt in the newspaper or travel magazine, so millions of people will know about why they will go there and what kind of opportunity is there. So I think uh, that is good way to uh, I mean exchange
Explore.
and also
Good way
and
to explore our both country
and
tourism.
and also those who wish to look for the business opportunity. If you can, we can arrange like B2B meeting, like if any uh, specific businessman wish to visit Egypt, and you can, if you can arrange that type of similar business with that person or that, the Chamber of Commerce or other relevant organization, I think it will help. Like so far I know, many Bangladeshi people live in Cairo, and they are doing agriculture business in Egypt.
Yeah.
So, and we have many Bangladeshi students also studying Al Azhar University.
Yes.
And Egypt also a good place to learn Arabic language also. So, maybe people can not only travel, also can take a short course for learning Arabic. Or if you can send some skilled Arabic teacher to Bangladesh, and they can make a crash program course, like maybe 1 month course or 2 month course, and it might happen. I mean, many of them, they are doing like this. So we
Thank
have
you, sir.
to
Sir,
find out different opportunities. Faisal, and I have to leave because I was meeting in another group. So
Okay,
shukran
before
jazilan,
thank
Jamal,
you.
and I like your fool, not that fool. Fool is the food.
You like my fool or my kushari or both of them?
Both of that, both of
You
that.
like
But
Kulthum or Amr Diab?
but Amar Diab,
So you
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 know,
like you like a lot.
yeah. In fool, in my language, fool means flower.
Yeah.
yeah.
In fool means
You know,
flower in Egypt.
no, about food, I had a lot of talking, but I think we will keep it for another program. That's why I
Right, right.
was preparing. I was preparing some of this food to explain it to Faisal and his viewer. But probably in the next program we can describe something about it. Thank you very
Yes.
much for being with us, and
Thank
really,
you,
really
thank
I
you.
enjoyed
Shukran,
talking with you. You
shukran
can
jazilan.
freely take my contact from Faisal. You will find my
Yes,
phone number and my WhatsApp, my email. Please, we need to talk about this subject. I will send your message to our Minister of Tourism, Dr. Khalid Al
sure.
Anani, and for sure
Mish
we
mushkila,
will
mish
start to
mushkila.
move. We love to
And
have this until we
you'll be
see.
happy to know,
We are
one
very
of my
happy.
Bangladeshi ambassador, he is very close to me, and his new posting is in Egypt, in Cairo. He will be joining next month to Egypt.
So I hope to have some contact between you and me. Very soon we will
Yes,
discuss a lot of things.
yeah.
And for sure we can meet very soon in Bangladesh.
Inshallah,
Inshallah.
inshallah.
Thank you,
Okay,
Ashrafuzzaman
masalama.
Ujjwal. We can see you. Thank you. Be with us, Ashrafuzzaman
Okay.
Ujjwal. Thank you. Sir, lot of things we discuss, and we need to think about our youth, like students, student program, student tourism, business tourism, what Mr. Ashrafuzzaman Ujjwal tell us. And if we can arrange online program on Arabic, from urine in Bangladesh, we can throw to our pupil. This is paid version. So we different type of tourism virtually we can possible to do on virtual. If you have opportunity to make a language course online, so it will be help for Bangladeshi people or children or educated who want to take, then beginner course we can starting. And today we are almost 1 hour, but it's very few. If it's 2 hours, 3 hours, I think it is not much. It's then few. We have to know more, and I pray within short time you give us time and we can discuss. We need to know more about Egypt, spiritual tourism, which I already discussed you few. We need our soul spirit.
Yes.
Our soul spirit, our mind satisfaction, our what we tell. This is the recreation. You have lot of idea, you have experienced. So I send you my video and you can share it, the Ministry of Tourism, and I hope it will be benefited for both of us. And in future, surely we meet in Egypt, in Bangladesh. You will there, I am here. Maybe it will be make a bridge to getting tourists between two countries.
Inshallah.
Now talk about something for our viewers when we are meet in future. We are waiting. Our lot of viewers, they are just give me personal message. Don't close the show now. They want to continue more 10 minutes. What do you say?
I will say that if we talk about Egypt and about history and about spiritual, so if we try to close our eyes and to imagine that we are in a plane and the plane landed in Cairo airport, and then we will take a bus, and now we are moving in the street, we will see Cairo, the Cairo which is a city doesn't sleep 24 hours. Watching all the buildings to the left and right hand side, and to see this beautiful magical line of the water which we call it Nile River, and now we are leaving the Nile and we are facing this great huge tomb which is called Pyramid of Cheops, and to see the only one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world to be exist up till now in Egypt, Pyramid of King Cheops, to see the other few pyramids, the other tiny pyramids, to see the great Sphinx statue. And then we will go to have a rest in our rooms, have a little sleep, to go on the second day, to go to visit Alexandria, to go to the museums, to see the sea, to see how it looks, the life, and to go to Siwa, as our friend Ashraf said, to see this beautiful sandy desert, with this beautiful atmosphere, to have the enjoying its weather, the water and the air, as well as the sand itself, and to return back, to go to Aswan, to go to Luxor, to see the beautiful huge temples. You can imagine that yourself, you are walking between gates, pylons, columns, pillars, and you will see this beautiful inscription that we call it hieroglyphic. And you imagine this is really a kind of a talking, how they were talking to each other, how they were writing. And then you find your guide is start to explain all of this for you, and you will feel that all of this history comes to you as you feel it, as you are living it. You feel that you are living ancient Egypt as today, as many years ago or 1,000 of years ago. So this is Egypt. After you finish all of this, you go to the special restaurant and you eat the kushari, the most famous and beloved dish, which is a mix of a different kind of macaroni, rice, and lentil, garlic, and onion mixed together, which is a very healthy food and spicy.
Yes, I know that. you tell this, close your eyes. I want to close my eyes and I see in front of my Jesus in front of my. Sir, I want to tell now. I want to say now goodbye. And another program we want to arrange like this type. This is panel discussion, like on behalf of your tourism board, some high official, your tourist or tour operator association, high official. If we arrange something look like this, then from my end we can invite some of our high official. So this meeting will verbally when that time we are taking time, and only you give us more than 40 minutes in another time. I think if it is 30 June, then it is better. We want to know more about lecture, then Alexandria again, and there is Sheikh Al-Hazham. We want to know about more because we don't know nothing. So we want to know about spiritual holy land Egypt.
Yes.
So
yes.
you are so kind enough. I hope you will make a panel discussion with the high official. I will arrange everything.
Thank you, my friend. Feel free to give my phone number.
What are you thinking about this?
Feel free to give my phone number to all of your viewers or my email if they wanted to have any question about Egypt at any time, a picture of somewhere. Maybe I can arrange one live broadcast for you. Make a questionnaire, ask your people what's the place that they wanted to see live next time, and I can go take my mobile and take a photo in front of the famous Al-Azhar Mosque, or from in front of the pyramids, or from Alexandria, wherever they will choose, but they must be a big number watching your program and writing what they want to see. I will go travel and to make one live 1 hour from there to see the different places from live to enjoy this. So till this time, feel free to ask me any question. I promise to send your message to the tour operators in Egypt, the Ministry of Tourism, and we must looking for the future to have more cooperation in this matter, inshallah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Viewer, you already hear from Mr. Wagih Kamel. He already announced that which cities you want to watch next in our life. Mr. Gamal arranged to make it live for your demand, fulfill your demand. So don't take your time. Just put a message on our Facebook page. We will arrange for you. For today, we want to say goodbye and good night. But 22nd June, don't forget the mega event. World Travel and Tourism Council supported the program. The most important program in in this day, it will be panel discussion from World Travel and Tourism Council, Mr. Adolf Ruiz, World Federation of Tourist Guide, Miss Marichar Donato, and Bangladesh, Mr. Ashrafuzzaman Ujjwal, President Bangladesh Travel Writers Association, and Moidin Helal, editor Parjatan Bichitra, will be attend the discussion, and from Tourism Board, Assistant Director, Mr. He will be attend with us. So let's watch our program on 22nd June, and another mega event we will arrange looked Egypt, holy spiritual land. So goodbye. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Goodbye.
sir.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.